doubt, a lot of you have come with and you've heard of the whole idea about yes and. And so building on other people's offers, so having that mindset of yes and. I'm curious, have any of you met somebody in business or life where they just go, yeah, but we can't do that, we spent all our money. Yeah, but we can't do that. Yeah, but no, we definitely can't do that. We tried that before, it definitely didn't work. Have any of you ever been that yes but person when you're under pressure and stressed? I certainly have. We all sometimes go there. But I wonder, within your businesses, do you encourage a yes and culture? I remember working with one particular business, and they were not doing particularly well. Very straight business, they were lawyers. And one of the things, I was like, just start one meeting and just say to everybody, for the first 2 minutes, you have to answer with yes and. And it changed how they all communicated, because what they started doing was they started blocking each other's ideas, trying to kind of prove to each other they were better, et cetera, et cetera. As soon as they did yes and, everything changed. What happened? I love when everyone's doing the yes and. They're like, and then we'll have this, and then it'll be this. What did you notice that was different about you and your body when you said yes and, as a group or yourself as an individual? Which table? Smiled. Yeah. Animated. Yeah. How did you feel? Energized. Yeah. We all know this. Like I said, the stuff that I'm sharing is not complex. But if you know, especially when you're under pressure and you're thinking on your feet and there's that particular person, we all have it, right? We all have one person, you're like, oh no, here comes Bob. Apologies if anyone's called Bob. Oh gosh. Here comes Bob. Oh. And you have already, as a leader, you've made a decision about that person. So in essence, you are already blocking them. And we all have it. When I used to employ people, I had this girl called Nikki, and she knows that this was the case with her. I had a block about her. She used to come up towards me, I'd be like, oh God, here's Nikki. And then I remember talking to my coach, because I practice what I preach. I was like, something's not working with me and Nikki. And she said, what's going on in your head? I was like, I just don't think she can do what she says she's going to do, and I'm just not entirely sure she's the right fit for us, et cetera, et cetera. And she's like, and what judgments have you made? What are you actually saying there? I was saying, yeah, but. And I was like, okay, come on, Em. Next time you talk to Nikki, take a breath. Let's try this yes and. And again, by me changing me, something shifted in our dynamic. And suddenly, I started to hear her from a very different perspective, because what I wasn't doing was I hadn't already made my own mind up about that person. Now, of course, we're all human beings. Sometimes we have decided, I don't like that person, that's not a person for me. So in essence, what you're doing is you're blocking them and you're blocking their ideas, because quite often you're already, yeah, but I don't really listen to them. And we're all human, we all do it, but that one person might have the best solution. And if they come up to you and they've got an idea and you're not fully present and you kind of go, yeah, but we tried that before, is that person ever going to come back up and talk to you in the same way? No. So it's up to us as leaders, as people that are really thinking about other people, to really get, how can we get to the yes and mindset? Now, of course, I'm a realist, right? There are some times where you can't be in that headspace. And that's why I think yes, how is so powerful. So if somebody does come up to you and they've got that idea, and in your head you're really struggling with it, you turn it back to them and you go, yes, so how can we make that happen? Tell me. As soon as you do that, that person feels valued, that person feels heard, you haven't blocked their ideas, but also you haven't gone, we're going to definitely do it. I also do think it's really important to say that one of the most important words that I've learned for myself as Em Stroud is no. I'm not only talking about work here, I'm talking about in life general. Saying no is one of the most empowering things that you can do. And I remember one of my mentors once said to me, because I'm a bit of a people pleaser, right? And I have a really, really strong tendency to overcommit. Well, I used to. But like, yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I can definitely do that. Yeah, I can definitely do that. Woo. Sometimes saying no is the biggest gift you can give to yourself. Especially as leaders, you will all naturally go, well, I want to take that on because I don't want my team to have to suffer. I'll take that on. And eventually, that comes at a cost to you. And I remember one of my mentors said, how can you create a longer yes? Which I love. So rather than saying, yeah, I can do that, come back at them with questions and go, yeah, so if I said I can't do that, what are your other options? How can you create more space? Simple things of like, rather than going, yeah, I could definitely do that for you, just going, yeah, can I come back to you in 4 hours' time? I know it's simple, but are you doing it? Because if you're not, When you're under pressure, how can you possibly expect all of your expertise, your wisdom, your knowledge to come out? Because you're always, always overwhelmed. So yes, but versus yes, and. And on those days when you're thinking, team feels a bit flat, get them to play that game. Get them to do yes, and. You were all, as soon as you started doing the yes, and, you must have felt it. The noise in the room went up. All of your energy went up. It was like, yes, and, we can go to the Bahamas. And yes, and, we can fly people in. Get people to play this. Because it's good to feel good stuff. It's good to notice that it suddenly goes dark as well. It's like dark and then light. So yes, and versus yes, how. Super important. So listening is the final one for me of the skills of improv that I'm going to share with you. Now, again, I'm curious, because I am a curious soul. On the count of 3, shout out how good a listener you are. 10 being, I am amazing, I am a brilliant listener. 1 being pretty average. Because you're all shouting it out at the same time, be honest. On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Right, good. I've got no idea what you all said, but brilliant. Well done. Now for me, listening is the most important thing. It's listening to self, it's listening to others. But when I say listening, I'm not just talking the kind of listening, but you're thinking, I wonder when this is going to end. Have I got coffee later? You know, I mean proper full-on listening. Now, you all know how to listen because you're all here. And you wouldn't be a leader without knowing how to listen. But I wonder how often do you truly actively listen and you let go of your own agenda? In the world of improv, if I take it back onto when I'm on stage, people quite often go, how do you come up with stuff off the top of your head? You're doing an improv show for an hour with just like 3 of you. You don't know what you're going to do. Listen and respond. I don't have to come up with anything great because I'm just responding to what other people say. And when I truly listen, it's amazing what gifts other people can give me. So they will make me look great. Surely that's the same in business. Your team will make you look great if you're truly listening and you've let go of your own agenda. So let's try this. You all said the numbers that you said. And on your table, there are numbers. So I'd like you to each just take one number. There's no rhyme or meaning. They don't mean anything. If you're like, well, I've got 47. I've got 402. Just take a number. Okay, very good. Excellent. Excellent. Yeah. I love this, how I love as human beings. I'm like, don't worry about what number. And people are like, it's my age. It means this. No. What I'd like you to do now is I want you to think about a story that is true about yourself that's going to take about 30 seconds to deliver. So a true story about yourself. Just think about it for a moment. It could just be, your journey here, or it could be like, I don't know, your favorite toy when you were a kid. Don't all do that. But a true story about yourself that's going to take about 30 seconds. Have you all got one in your head? Okay, have a moment. You're not writing this story down. This is just you. You don't need to write it down. It's okay. You do know yourselves. Could be like, I have a dog. His name is Charlie. He is a Jack Russell pug with a bit of Chihuahua, so I call him a Jaguar. And he's really cool. I've made up that dog breed. That's a true story. Here's my dog. I got a video later. He was being walked. It's lovely. Okay, you get the idea. Right, now, in a moment, I want you to take your number. I want you to find somebody that you have not been sitting with for the entire day. Just as a point of observation, you all sat down here. You didn't know each other, perhaps. Have you stayed in the same places for the whole day? Well done, human beings. I love it. Quite often I'll get people to stand up and play a game in a circle, and then we go and sit back down, then we go and play again. Everyone goes and stands in the same place, like this was my spot of carpet. So just ask yourself, next time you come to an event like this, why are you sitting in the same place? Are you missing opportunities, or are you sitting back there because it makes you feel safe? Are you accepting offers? And quite often people go, well, I put my stuff down. Pick it up. Move it. Put it somewhere else. It changes the dynamic. It changes the energy. And if you all do that as leaders, my word, stuff can happen. Anyway, back to the numbers, because you're like, what's the numbers? What's the stories? Right, get your number. In a moment, you are going to walk somewhere else. That's right, walk. You're not going to just stay around the people. Find someone you've not spoken to. Whoever has the lower number is going to tell their story first, and then the second person tells their story. I will call out when you've hit your 30 seconds. That is your instruction. Lower number first, 30 seconds. High number, find someone. I can honestly say that in many, many years of doing that to have that response is unheard of. So well done on your listening. So you all are, as you would hope as leaders, very good listeners. But I'm curious, when you worked out what the game was, especially if you went second, so your number was the lower one, were you really listening, or was there a little bit in your head where you were going, what's my story, what am I going to say? And did you up your listening as soon as you went, oh, we're playing Chinese whispers. Okay, listen. Did you all up your ante? Yeah? This is what I'm talking about in terms of listening. Of course, we all know how to listen, right? You wouldn't be in this room if you didn't. But the thing for me is all about choice. This goes back to the intent piece. How often are you choosing to really listen? And when I say listen, I mean fully hear. Letting go of your own agenda so that you can actually hear the wisdom, the ideas, the knowledge of people, rather than going, at any point is my time to talk. Now remember, like I said right at the start, I don't doubt that you do this probably 90% of your business lives. But in order to go from good to great, it's the 10% where I see leaders absolutely fly, when they're massively under pressure. And then what they do is they go, I'm going to use these skills. I'm going to breathe, and I'm going to properly listen, even though everything in my head is going, I don't have time. And if that is the case, how much better would it be if somebody came up to you, got an idea, and you just turn and you go, I want to hear you, but I can't right now. Can you come back in 10 minutes? We all know how much better that would be. What I'm asking you is, how often are you doing things like that? Or are you doing a half in, half out, half listening, half sending emails, half doing other things? And if you're showing up at meetings, and you're all leaders, and you're not listening, why are you in the meeting? If you as a business culture, and I went into one place and I could not believe my eyes, everybody showed up with their laptops, and then somebody was doing a presentation, everyone was like that. I was like, what are you doing? Now, hopefully that wouldn't be any of your organizations. But if you catch somebody that's doing that, they're not listening. Why are they there? Complete waste of resource, complete waste of time. So if you know, as yourself, and only you know yourself, if there are certain situations where you are not listening, why are you there? And if you are going to be there, how can you make sure that you're more present? Is it because you're not taking enough breaks? Is it because you're not breathing? What is it that you're not doing enough of? Because for me, at the heart of being truly brilliant, when I think about times that I've stood up on stage, it's about listening to the others and listen and respond, listen and respond. Because everybody else will always have brilliant wisdom. But then the other thing, it's also about listening to yourself. How many of you, truthfully, hand on heart, give yourself enough time to self-reflect and to stop and to think about how you are showing up? I don't doubt that you look at outcomes, objectives, and tick, tick, tick. I don't doubt that at all. But what I'm curious about is how often are you allowing yourself to go, right, how did I do this brilliantly? What did I do really well? And writing it down. What could I do to improve next time? And writing it down. And what am I grateful for in self? And writing it down. Because all of these things, and today is brilliant, and no doubt you've taken loads of stuff, not only from me, but I hope from other people as well. But the thing is that ultimately today I've been talking about little tiny incremental behavioural changes. You're all super smart, but no doubt your lives are full. So what I'd ask all of you to do, just for a minute, is go, right, one thing that Em said that I am going to do. So just write it down. What's the one thing that I've said that you are going to do? And then next to it, once you've written that, go, why am I choosing to do that? So that you've written it down, because there's lots of evidence that if you write stuff down, you're far more likely to do it. Every gig like this, I've got a little notebook. And in that notebook, in my taxi on my way home, I will write my own answers. This goes back about not giving power to your audience. Of course, I genuinely do care what you all think, and I hope that you've taken stuff from me. And I'll chat to everybody here to find out how this has landed. But first and foremost, I have to check how this has landed for me. So I will write, right, what did I do well and should do more of? And I'll write a couple of things down. What can I do to improve next time? And I'll write a couple of things down. And then the last one, which is the one that most people don't do, what am I grateful for in self? So maybe put 10 minutes in your diary, in your work time, and you go, right, I'm going to buy a notebook, and I'm going to answer these feed-forward questions. So if you decide, right, I'm going to do some breathing, after you've done that, ask yourself, What did I do well? Well, actually, I started breathing at the start and I was really grounded. And actually, it really helped me come across really well. And I liked my pace and my energy. Go me. What could I do to improve next time? Well, when Bob, poor Bob, started talking again, I stopped breathing, I got a bit annoyed. And I wasn't breathing, I wasn't so grounded. What am I grateful for? I'm really grateful that I'm trying something new that's going to help me. It also works really well as a method of sharing feed forward to people that you work with, because it's all rooted in positive psychology and things like that. So there you go. 3 very simple skills, which you all know how to do, because you've demonstrated to me, you all know how to do it, of being present, accepting offers, and listening. You all know how to do all of them. But honestly, when I see people, when they really do it, it is quite extraordinary what can show up. But before I finish and have a couple of questions, if you've got any, let's just do one little thing because it's fun. And, you know, I'm all about laughing and things like that. Right, in a moment, you're all going to stand up, right? And you're going to have an easel in front of you. Again, it's invisible. I don't have easels. And I want you to think about your favourite scene of your favourite movie, okay? So have you all got a favourite scene? You can have it in a moment. Okay. Now, each of your different parts of your body has a different colour. So if you've chosen black and white, well done. And then you're going to stand up, and in a moment, you are going to paint it. What is the purpose? It's called having fun and playing. So stand up. I am loving it. Oh, yes, we've got an This is good. Oh, my word. I love that movie. Love it. Very good. Oh, madam, you are extraordinary. Okay, sit yourselves down. You go very good, very good, very good, very good. And as you were playing that game, I've been talking about accepting offers to yourself. If your brain went, well, I don't really understand why I should be doing this. Hang on, what's the adult? Let that adult go to your side. You were all kids, right? Allow yourself moments of play. Allow yourself those little pockets of joy. Because they're as true as all of the stuff that's going on in the world. And that's what we can control. So if you blocked yourself then and went, I'm not very good at drawing, invisible. But just allow yourself those moments, because that for me is really important. And it's all really important that I always finish on time, because I'm deeply respectful about your time and everyone else's time. But I think I've got about 2 minutes. Anybody got any thoughts, feelings, comments, questions? As I flick through, you haven't noticed that I might have gone the wrong way. There we go. Nobody noticed, or am I just having my own internal thought process? I might be. I'm on the right slide now. Woohoo! I'm a professional. Hi. Any other thoughts, feelings, comments, questions? Go.
Where do you get your energy from?
I genuinely love what I do. I've always had lots of natural energy. I do have to exercise, otherwise I am literally a nightmare. But when you really love what you do, like this is work, right? I'm at work. I've just got you all painting a scene of things. You were all throwing invisible balls around. How cool is that? And I guess when you know, my bigger life purpose is to get the world to laugh, think, and play more. And me getting to come and share it with you, it's just a gift. It's not hard work. It's just lovely. So, you know, I get it from you. It's not from me, it's from you. It's a two-way conversation. That's where. Any other thoughts, feelings, comments? Hello, lovely. Hello, Mr. Heckler. Music? Oh, I am completely eclectic. So I used to sing in a band, train musical theatre, can act and can sing, can't dance for anything. It's like, no. So everything. So every month, probably for about 14 years, I've done a new playlist every month. Some of artists that I've heard of, some that I haven't. I can't recommend it enough. Go on and go, right, do I like the sound of that one? Download the album. It keeps it new, be curious, be open. Quite often, especially as we get older, people get really stuck. I only listen to this music. I don't know what's out now. I don't like it. It's like there's amazing new music. So loads, everything from Radiohead to Tori Amos to dancey stuff to trance. So loads. Yeah, and with my podcast, there is a Clowning Around playlist, which all my guests basically answer questions and they say a song. It is the most eclectic playlist, and it's available on Spotify, you'll ever see. Yeah. Any other thoughts, feeling, comment, questions? Hello.
How do you develop your skills as a clown?
I went to clown school.
And do you still go to clown school? Do you know what I mean? Is that an ongoing?
Yeah, it's clowning is a craft, like acting is a craft, like any crafts, you have to carry on developing it. So at the start of this year, I went back and worked with my clown mentor. And so clowning is it's very misunderstood. And it's, imagine sort of Shakespearean fool, the court jester. We are the truth tellers. We use kindness and openness to say what we see. And actually, it makes me really sad how the press uses clowns as an attack about the government in particular, because actually we're the opposite of how I view the government at the moment, because actually we're honest and we're kind and we're open and we bring joy. And so, yeah, it's a craft. So I have a couple of clowns. Orange co-wrote my book, and Orange is like the most childlike, most beautiful part of me. And the Orange will see the wonder in everybody, that even as Em, I'm pretty confident. I remember I shared this with another lady here. I was doing my show with Orange and me, and it was autobiographical. So Orange was getting everybody in Orange's way. And then this lady came and sat down in the front row. And as Orange, through Orange's eyes, Orange said, "My word, I love your necklace and your eyes. You're just beautiful." Now, as me as Em Stroud, I'm British. That would be terribly awkward, and I'd be like, "Ugh, hello, like your bracelet. Ugh, I can't deal with it." And as I went out to the bar, as myself, this woman came up to me and she just went, "Orange saw me in a way that I haven't been seen for like 10 years. Thank you." It's the childlike, it's the innocent part of me, but I've had to work and it's a craft, you know, like all good things. So yeah, clown school. Who knew? Things you never thought you were going to listen to today. Hello, lovely.
What's the main message in your book that's for sale?
Thank you. You're very good. Thank you. I wrote a book which, as a dyslexic human being that was told you couldn't write, I'm so proud of myself, and I will stand here and go, I'm so proud of myself because I never thought I'd write a book. And there's 5 lessons that clowning have really taught me. It's about how can we be seen, how can we be accepting of ourselves and others, how can we be more playful, be kind, another lesson as well. And it's in my book. I can't remember the 5th one. I've been talking a lot now. I wrote it. It's in there. I always forget the 5th one. And it's basically part memoir, part personal development, part stand-up, and I'm really proud of it. And so if you want it, you can buy it out there or you can buy it on Amazon. But yeah, thank you. Thank you. I don't normally plug my product, but thank you. It's very nice. Hello. Gosh, that was a very quick hand. Go. Yeah.
You mentioned at the beginning of this
Yeah.
presentation thing,
Yeah.
you were launching something and that a lot of good people about
Yes.
stuff.
Yes. So I realise there's only one of me, and I really genuinely believe that humanity needs light, and we need more of the lightness because I think we have far too much attention on all the darkness. So my personal vision of making the world laugh more, think more, and play more. I've now got some co-founders, and we're going to be launching in September. We're going to do some pilot schemes before that, so if anybody's interested in that, would be amazing. We're going to have Laugh, Think, Play programs where we go into businesses. We're going to have Laugh, Think, Play school where individuals can come and learn. And it's going to be creatives and business coming together and basically going deep into the world of clown stuff, presentation, presence, coaching, all of the stuff that I've learnt. And then we're going to have Laugh, Think, Play Festival, where it's going to be like, you know, you can go to a tent and there's Laugh, Think, Play, laughing bit, a thinking bit, a playing bit. Because for me, regardless of where we are in the world, if you're from China, if you're from America, and I say those countries purposefully, laughing, thinking, and playing is fundamentally human. And I think we are so good at polarizing ourselves right now. And I want to bring the world into a better place and do it that way. So if any of you can help me by running our pilot schemes, I'd be super, super grateful because that's our new thing. We're going to build an app, and we want to make a lot of it available for free through the app so there's content to basically change the world. And this is the first time that I've said that publicly, so I hope that made sense. Yay! That's fun.